Hi guys, welcome to another video on Tech with Chakul. Now, like I promised in the last video that I'm going to take you step by step on how to create your own API. Now, if you haven't already watched that video, please watch it. It's a very short video and you'll be able to understand this tutorial much better. So let's start. Now, like I discussed, API is basically an access to an extra resource. That could be data, it could be an algorithm. Now, since I'm building an API and I don't have any data to expose, I have my personal data, but obviously I don't want to expose them. So I'll create an algorithm which I'll expose through an API. Now, since we discussed the example of a cricket score predictor, so we'll replicate a similar algorithm and we'll expose it using an API. So let's get started. Now, like in any other hack video, I'll first discuss the architecture because that will give you a general idea of how we're gonna approach. Now, my architecture will have two simple things. One is the algorithm. For that, I am using a Python code which will use basic linear regression model to create a machine learning algorithm, and the server will be a Flask server. Now, if you have doubts like why do I need a Flask server, why do I need a server for that matter to host an API, please refer to my server architecture video, which is the fourth lecture in the system design, and you will get a better idea of what is a server and why do I need it for coding an API. Okay. So server essentially, I am using Flask server here. You can use any kind of server like Node or Django or any kind of servers to create a local server. I will use the server to first host my algorithm, the code that I'm building, the Python code, and the second one is to expose my API on basically a port slash route combination. Now, what is this port slash route combination? It's basically a unique resource identifier. It helps me identify what resource the user is trying to get. Now, why these two? Let's say I built a Flask server, and on that server, I have deployed multiple services or multiple APIs. The first API could be, let's say, a cricket score predictor. The second one could be a tennis score predictor, and so on and so forth. So I have multiple services running on a single server. So how do I differentiate? I differentiate using port numbers. So let's say on port 1, I have cricket score, then I have tennis score, and I have football score. So different ports have different services. Now, why do I need a route? So route I need for a given service, I can have several methods. For example, for a cricket score, I can have an ODI method to predict the ODI scores, and I can have a test method to predict the test scores. So basically, a combination of port and route will help me identify which resource, which API to exactly hit. Based on the request the user is sending, I will be able to exactly pinpoint, okay, this is what the user requests. Now this is pretty much the architecture. Let's jump onto the coding. Now since I am using a predict algorithm, I need to train my model on some data. Now for data, I'm thinking about something like scores. I need some other parameters like maybe wickets or overs for which I can train the model and predict the score. Now I don't have any data, so I'll create a data set for the purpose of this video. So let's say the first column is score, and the second one is, let's say, wickets, and the third one is overs. So what I'm doing is I'm saying that for any particular moment in the match, let's say the number of wickets that have fallen and the number of overs that have passed will help me predict the score. So for score, I'm using some random numbers. I'll create a random number between, let's say the score is between 10 to 200. Okay, and wickets, I'll use another sorry, okay, let's say 0 to 9. And overs, I will do again a random between, let's say, 5 to 40 overs have passed, since I'm coding it for just 50 over formats. Okay, let's populate this for uh, yeah, 45 data points. Cool. So this is a random data set that I have created. So let me just save it as a CSV in my folder, and I'll give this name data. Save. Okay. Now let's just close and let's write the code for our training logic. So our training logic, first we'll import the data set using pandas. I'll import, sorry. So my df is equal to pd dot import whatever, sorry, not import, read csv. What is the csv name? Data.csv. So I have my data set. Now I will segregate the columns on the basis of, so my predict column will be, so my predict column will be equal to df.ilog. I want the first column to be the all the values of the first column to be my predict. So I will use all the values and for every column except for the first one. So this will be my values, and for my variables, feature variables, I will use x is equal to df.ilog, and similarly all the rows I need, and I need every column except for the first one, and dot values. So this will give me the x and y basically. Now, since I mentioned I'll be using a basic linear regression model, so I'll use from sklearn dot linear models import linear regression. I don't think so. This is models. Yeah. So I have used linear regression. Okay. Now let's declare a dummy linear regression model, and I'll use the fit method to basically fit my data set text column predict. So this has created a model. Now I can straight away write the code for predict also here, but I won't do that. The reason being, I don't want my train logic to be in coincidence with, the reason being, I don't want my train and predict logic to be at the same place, because every time a user hits my API, I don't want the training logic to rerun, because training might take hours and hours of, based on the number of data points and the algorithm complexity, training can take a long time, right? So I don't want training to happen again and again. What I'll do is I'll train the model, dump it in a file, and store it in a persistent storage. And in the predict, I will just load that file. So for dumping it, I'm using pickle. Now I will do pickle dot dump basically, which will so I'm gonna save it in a model dot sav file, and I will open this to edit. Okay, so I have basically used dump to dump the file. So let's try to run this and see if we are able to create a file. I have, oh shit, I did a spelling mistake. Sorry guys. Yeah. So let's check if it has created something. Oh yeah. So it has created a model.sav file in my folder train. It has created in the same directory because I didn't mention the directory there. So I have completed my training logic. Now let's jump on to the Flask app. Okay. So I'll save this as api.py file. So this will be my Flask app. So I'll use my import from Flask. I'll import Flask. Hate auto. Okay. Now basically I'll declare my so Flask has a concept of apps. So I'll declare my app here. So API. This app is basically my API. So this will be Flask, and it will have a random name. Okay. Now inside my main code, I will just run this app. Okay. Now this needs a host. Host is basically where you want to run. So since this is my local server, I want to run it at my local IP, which is localhost 0.0.0.0. And as I mentioned, it requires a port. So I'll give a port number as 99999. So this is a random. You can give any port number here, any IP also. Suppose you have a server running in some VM which is on a cloud, so you can give the IP of that cloud here so that it runs there. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, I also need routes. For this API, I will define a route. Now, this route will be, let's say, score predictor. So I was just want to predict the score for now. I won't create like cricket score predict and another apps. You can do go ahead and do that. But for me, I will just create one simple package, and I'll create something called methods. Now, methods is what I'm expecting. So since the user want to get something over here, so I'll use a method as get. Now, if you don't understand what these methods are, you can refer to my first video. I've briefly discussed about what are the different methods used while calling an API. So I'll use here what is known as get. So the method will be get. Now this is my, now this should call my predict function. So predict, what it will do is, now I will have to load my model. So I won't include the loading part also in the predict function because I don't want to load again and again. I will load it, keep it in my storage. I will load it outside. So model is equal to, now I again need pickle. Pickle. So pickle dot load. Open, I want the file to be model.sav and I'll open it in a read mode, right? RB. Yeah. So I have the model. Now I just need to predict. So model.predict. Okay, now I need to send two parameters. The first one, so I trained based on wicket and score. So I will send those two parameters as a, so the first one, now this has this last module, what it does is it creates a request. Any request which come on this route will be available in the form of request. So I'll just import request in the Flask module, and the JSON, that JSON is basically the data that the user is sending. I will have it in the request module, request dot get JSON. So this will give me the data that the user is sending. Now I'm expecting the user to send me the wicket and the overs that have passed. If the user will send me this data, I can give back the score. So this, using this request JSON, I will extract the wicket parameter and as well as the score. Okay. Now I will pass this. Now since I'm passing it as a 2D array, I also expect the response to come in a 2D array. So I'll just pass it. So this one will be my score. Score is equal to this. Now let's return the output. Return, I want to send score is, score will be, and let's give a hyphen dot format. Uh, Okay, now this score will be a float value because I've trained my model to be that. So I don't want the score to be in dot decimal places. So I will just convert it into int and string before appending it to the final output. So this completes my Flask app. I think so I've coded. Okay, no, no, this won't be score. I am expecting overs, right? Yeah, wicket and overs. So these will be the two parameters, and I think so I have completed this. Let's test it out on our command prompt if it's running. Yeah, so it's running. It says running on HTTP 0.0.0 and 9.9. Okay, so for testing this, I'll use Postman. Postman is a free tool that you can use to test any API, be it your own local deployed API or any other server API or any API out there in the market. You can, this is a free tool. You can download it from Postman website, and it's a very helpful tool. Now, since you can see all these methods are available, I am using only get method. So I'll configure it for get. I'll send out a request at 0.0.0, port number 999, and score predictor. Awesome. Now body I'll send as JSON, and what I'm expecting is I'm expecting wicket, which will be, let's say, 0, and I'm also expecting overs. So let's say 7 overs have passed. So let's see if I press send, if it is able to give me a response or not. Yeah, so it has given me a response. Score will be 102. So my API is working very good. It might not be the best score predicted, but it's running. I have a functional API. I can work on my algorithm anytime. I can have a better. Now, I think so. You were able to understand why the most important part is the port and the route. If I give a different route, score predict, it won't work. It won't send a response. It says not found. See, it's giving a 404 error. It understands that this is not available there. Anything, if I make any changes over here, it won't be able to identify the resource. So how important is this parameter over there? So if I send it again, it can identify. I can easily, if I don't send any of the parameters here, then it will throw an error. So this is how you configure your API. I hope in a short video I was able to explain to you that. Keep watching, stay tuned. Thanks a lot.